For how long are you sleeping in hours? Just tell me a number. 8, 7, 6, maybe 9, maybe 10, if you're like really advanced. It's just between us. Just tell me a number. 7, 8, 9, whatever number it is, just think of it. Let me tell you, the real number of sleep you get, the real hours of sleep you get, is less than you just said. In 9 out of 10 cases, the amount of sleep you get is a lot lower than you are actually thinking. Your body doesn't know how sleep deprived it is. And let me ask you, do you feel tired all the time? Do you sleep more on the weekends? If yes, the quality of sleep is worse. Your sleep quality is worse, and you don't sleep enough. And I can't stress enough how important sleep is. Sleep is genuinely the foundation to all of your life. Sleep is the base pillar. Like you have these life pillars, sleep is the foundation that these pillars sit on. You have the self-improvement pillars, sleep is the base. Without sleep, without a good foundation, you don't have a good life. You don't have an awesome life, the life that you want to get. You just don't have that because your sleep sucks, but you can change it. And I've never cared about sleep. It was only around August this year. Only then I tried to focus only on my sleep to make sure I get the best sleep possible. But the rest of my life, I didn't care. I thought it was another thing that was wasting me time. It was something that, yeah, I'll do later. Yeah, if I get a poor night's sleep, so what? But it wasn't until I've read Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Until then, I just didn't care. But after I read the book, my life changed. And I realized how much I've lost just because I didn't care about sleep. How bad my life is without me even knowing. How poor my attention and everything is just because I didn't care about sleep. And as I said, I didn't care about it. And it showed. I looked like a walking zombie. I couldn't pay attention in class. I couldn't hold eye contact. I couldn't speak with people. I was always tired and had low energy just because I didn't sleep. I would go to sleep around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., scrolling on TikTok until falling asleep. And then I would have to wake up at 6 a.m. because of school. So I would get less than 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, I was spending 4 hours in bed, but I was getting less sleep. And I will explain what that means. Do you think that I was functioning with less than 4 hours of sleep per night? Maybe on the weekends I would sleep more. But do you think that I was normal? Of course not. Of course I looked like an outcast. Of course I looked horrible. Of course I couldn't pay attention. Of course I couldn't do any normal stuff because it was too hard. I was handicapping myself just because I didn't care about sleep. And in the past 3 months, I've been the most productive, I could pay attention the most, and I felt the most energized, the most happy, the most social, just because I put sleep first. I put sleep as my priority. I put sleep even over social interactions. Bro, I said no to parties, to meetups, to meetings. I said no to almost everything if that thing was past my bedtime. If I went to that, it led me to sleeping poorly or going to sleep late. I would say no. People would invite me to go to church to go to like activities. No, I go to sleep at 7:30. The activity was at 7 p.m. and I couldn't go because it was just too late. So I would always skip it. I wouldn't go to volleyball because it would lead me to falling asleep late. Yeah, of course, here and there, once or twice, like every few months, of course I would go, but not every single time. Because I put sleep as my priority. And I was the most focused. I've gotten the most amount of work done ever. I was able to make better connections at school, to socialize better, to pay attention in class. Something that I couldn't do for for nothing in the world. I couldn't pay attention in class, and now I can. I can sit in a 2-hour lecture of a really boring teacher and pay attention without getting bored. I mean, yeah, of course I was bored, but I was still paying attention. And I highly believe it was because of sleep. And I have a question. Do you feel tired? Do you have energy throughout the day? Do you sleep more on the weekends? If you do, I have bad news for you. Bad and good news for you. Your sleep is shit. You have to realize this. But there's an easy fix that could change your life forever. You need to allocate more time in bed, more time for bed. And it's really simple. And here's a little experiment that you can do to know for how long you should stay in bed. Go to sleep at whatever time you feel like going. No like distractions, no phone. If you feel tired, you go to sleep. No question asked. And you wake up without an alarm. You see for how long your body wants to sleep. And you do this experiment for a week, at least 1 week. You go to sleep at the time that you like feel like going, when you feel really tired to go. Don't push yourself going past that. If you feel the slightest bit of tiredness, you go to bed and you wake up without an alarm. You wake up whenever your body feels like waking up. If you can, I know most of you have school. I know you might be in school right now, so you can't really do this experiment. You would just wake up really late. But if you're not in school or if you're like on break or something, do this experiment. And it will genuinely change your life and you will have a number, something that to look back on and see, oh, I could sleep more or I could sleep less. And that number is really important because I want to tell you something. Time in bed is not the same as time asleep. If you want to sleep for 8 hours, like doctors say, it doesn't mean to be in bed for 8 hours. It means to be in bed for 9 or 10 hours. Because if you're in bed for 10 hours, you try to sleep for most of the night, you will maybe get 8 hours of sleep if you spend 10 hours in bed. But if you spend 8 hours in bed, you will not sleep the full night. You will not get exactly 8 hours of sleep because it takes time to fall asleep. You will wake up throughout the night without you even knowing. And there's this thing called sleep quality. If you have 80% sleep quality, you've slept for 80% of the night. For the time you were in bed, you've slept 80% of that time. So if like you go to bed and sleep for 10 hours, you were in bed for 10 hours, you will sleep for like 8, maybe 9 hours because it's 80% sleep quality. Maybe it's 85%, maybe it's 90%. It depends highly on what you did before going to bed. If you spend time looking at like blue light and everything, sleep quality goes down. If you've drank alcohol, sleep quality goes down. So that's why I said the easiest fix to sleeping better and more is to just spend more time in bed. Tell yourself that you will try to fall asleep at, let's say, 10 p.m. and wake up at 8 a.m. If you've done the experiment, you will know what's the best time for you to fall asleep at and the best time to wake up at. If you know those are numbers, if you did the experiment or if you will do, you will know my body needs 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep. My body is the most comfortable. Like here, my body really wants to sleep for 10 hours between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. It feels the best. It gets the best night's sleep at that time. And you know this, and you arrange your life so that at like 9:30 p.m. you try to get to bed, you fall asleep around 10, and by you not waking up with an alarm, you will know that, oh, around 8 a.m. I will wake up. And that's perfect. You will get the best sleep ever. And you can't really do anything about sleep quality. I mean, yeah, of course you can, but you can never get it to 100%. You can like get it to 90%, 95 maybe if you're really dedicated. But most people are around 80 to 90% sleep quality. So to sleep 8 hours, you need to allocate 9 hours in bed, or even 10 if you really could. But if you did the experiment, you will know the amount of time that your body needs because it depends from one person to the other. I can't tell you to go to sleep for 8 hours because for another person, the best time for them is 11 hours. For another person is 7, even though it's highly unlikely. It depends from person to person. That's why I'm telling you to experiment and do it yourself. But if you do the experiment, the amount of time your body needs, give it to it. And there's a full, like a huge list of things that are affected by your sleep. That's why I said that sleep is the most important thing, the base of your life. Because there's the saying that, oh, I sleep when I'm dead. And if you do think like that, you will die earlier. And I've learned that from the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Like, it's the best book, and it's the book that will just open your eyes, and it will make you understand that, bro, how did I live all of my life without knowing this? Why didn't I learn about this in school or something? How do I not know this? How did I not know this? You will learn so much from this book. So I highly recommend you to just read it for yourself, get the knowledge from it, get the most out of it, and just transform your life, because that's exactly what I did. And it changed my life forever. But some tips like to help you sleep even tonight, that instantly improve my sleep, is to sleep with my mouth taped, to make the room colder before going to bed, and not using any technology like half an hour or an hour before bed. Like, if you tape your mouth shut during the night while you sleep, you will breathe throughout your nose. And that's really, really helpful for you. You will feel 10 times more rested just because you're breathing throughout the night through your nose. It's such a huge difference that you will only know about it if you try it. So tonight, if you have in your house micropore tape, it's the best tape for this. If you have that, use it, and get like a small piece of tape, put it on your lips. Like, don't press it too hard so that you don't make it so hard to like open your mouth. Press it a little, because that little force will stop you from using your mouth during the night. And I know it sounds scary, but it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be scared of this, because I thought the same, but I still went with it. And bro, in a year and a half, only once I had to take it off during the sleep. Only once, when I was sick. Only then I had to take it off. And do you know what happened? I was sick. Before sleep, I put it on. I could breathe normally. But during the night, somehow my nose got blocked. And I just could not breathe throughout my nose. Bro, I kid you not. During sleep, I dreamt that my face was covered in cake. And in the dream, I did something like this. I did something like this so that I could breathe in the dream, because I was suffocating in the dream and also in real life. And I did this in like in my dream, and in real life, I took my hand and I pulled off the like tape from my mouth so that I could breathe. And I was so clueless in the morning because I thought, bro, what a weird dream. But when I woke up, my tape was on my finger. So it happened in real life. That's all I could remember. So if you're scared to do this, don't be. Your mind is more smart than anything. It's smarter than anything. And it knows that, oh shit, I have something on my mouth. If I can't breathe, I will just take it off. Make your room colder so that you will fall asleep easier, and it will be easier for you to just go into deep sleep and sleep deeper and better. And you will genuinely fall asleep easier, faster. Bro, I kid you not. During the winter, I fall asleep and I sleep the best because it's cold. I don't have air conditioning in my room. There's no real way for me to like make my room colder unless I open the window. And in the summer, I have the worst sleep ever. I sleep so poorly. I fall asleep so hardly. I wake up in like full sweat and everything because I can't make my room colder. But during the winter, I fall asleep within seconds. I sleep so deeply and I wake up so refreshed just because I open my window before bed. I let my room get colder. I get into my bed, it's all warm and stuff, and perfect for sleep. And bro, I hope you're not on your phone before going to bed. I hope you're smart enough to not go on your phone before bed. You know how disruptive blue light is. And if you go on your phone before bed, you will make it harder for you to fall asleep because you will be on social media and you will think, yeah, I will just spend 5 more minutes on here. And those 5 more minutes you could have spent trying to fall asleep. You will just genuinely just go to sleep later because you will end up forgetting about sleeping and you will just scroll on social media. So Leave your phone out of your room. Sleep. Try to just sleep, and your life will improve. If you sleep, you will live longer. You will not have thousands of diseases, and you can learn about them in the book. I'm not sponsored or anything, bro. I wish I could be. I love that book. Just read it. It will change your life if you want to learn about sleep. If you don't, try these tips that I told you about tonight and do the experiment, the 1 week experiment, and you will learn so much about your body. Trust me. If you enjoyed the video, scroll down and click on the subscribe button, bro. It will help both of us, especially you. Go and watch this video and join the Discord. You will love it there. See you later. Mwah.